Most Grammys. Beyoncé now holds 35 Grammy wins, the most ever by any artist. She broke classical conductor George Solti's long-standing record of 31 at the 2023 Grammys and has continued winning since then. She stacked up 99 nominations too, also the most of all time. Her first win came in 2001 with Destiny's Child for Say My Name, and since then it's been a Hall of Fame run. She's taken trophies for Song of the Year with Single Ladies, Record of the Year with Crazy in Love, and Album of the Year with Renaissance. The genre-jumping success spans R&B, pop, country, and dance categories. The numbers speak for themselves. 35 wins, 99 nominations. That's more than any artist in Grammy history, and those records are looking pretty much unbreakable right now. Longest charting pop song. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd stayed on the Billboard Hot 100 for 104 straight weeks. That's longer than any song in chart history. It entered in November 2019, climbed to number 1, and didn't leave until February 2022. No pop track had ever pulled that kind of longevity before. It hit number 1 in over 30 countries and dominated global charts for nearly 2 years straight. The track spent 88 weeks in the top 10 alone, another record. Its 80s synth-pop sound struck the perfect balance between nostalgia and modern production. On streaming platforms, it became the most streamed song in Spotify history. This wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon that refused to die. Most Billboard Hot 100 records. Taylor Swift holds more Hot 100 records than any pop artist in history. She's got over 260 total chart entries, the most ever by a female artist. Her top 10 hits total 59, including 12 that debuted directly into the top 10. She's posted 12 number 1 hits and counting. Her album Midnights alone put 13 songs on the Hot 100 simultaneously. Then there's the chart longevity. She's maintained Hot 100 presence for over 15 consecutive years. Some of her records include most simultaneous top 40 hits by a female artist, most weeks in the Billboard 200 top 10, and fastest album to reach 1 billion streams. The numbers keep piling up across every chart category. Most viewed music video on YouTube. Despacito by Luis Fonsi featuring Daddy Yankee has over 8.3 billion views as of 2024, making it the most watched music video in YouTube history. The video passed Gangnam Style in August 2017 and never looked back. It became the first video to hit 3 billion, then 4 billion, then kept climbing. The Justin Bieber remix version added massive crossover appeal, but the original Spanish version drove the view count. Released in January 2017, it sparked a Latin pop revolution and proved non-English songs could dominate globally. This record represents the power of global pop and YouTube's reach across language barriers. Highest first week sales for a pop album. Adele's 25 moved 3.38 million copies in its first week in November 2015, the biggest opening week ever recorded. She didn't just break the record, she obliterated it. The previous record was NSYNC's No Strings Attached, with 2.42 million in 2000. Adele did it in the streaming era when album sales were supposedly dead. She refused to put the album on streaming services initially, forcing fans to buy physical copies and digital downloads. Songs like Hello and When We Were Young drove massive anticipation. That first week number stands as a monument to pure star power and the last great physical album sales explosion. Best-selling debut pop album. Whitney Houston's self-titled debut album from 1985 remains the best-selling debut by a female pop artist, moving over 25 million copies worldwide. It spent 14 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and produced multiple number 1 singles, Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and Greatest Love of All. The album stayed on the charts for over 3 years and established Houston as a global superstar overnight. Its combination of pop, R&B, and dance tracks created the blueprint for crossover success. No female debut has matched its commercial impact or longevity. Youngest solo artist with a number 1 single. Michael Jackson was 13 years old when Ben hit number 1 in October 1972, making him the youngest solo artist to top the Hot 100. The Ballad About a Pet Rat spent 1 week at number 1 and showcased Jackson's incredible vocal maturity at such a young age. This record has lasted over 50 years because the music industry rarely develops solo artists that young anymore, and when they do, they typically don't achieve immediate number 1 success. Jackson's achievement foreshadowed the legendary career that would follow. Highest grossing tour in history. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour is projected to generate over $2 billion worldwide, making it the highest grossing tour by any artist ever. The tour covers over 150 shows across 5 continents with millions of tickets sold. Average per night gross exceeds $13 million, with some stadium shows hitting $17 million in a single night. The economic impact has been so massive it's affected local economies and cities where she performed. She didn't just break the previous record, she's potentially doubling it. First streaming exclusive album to win a Grammy. Chance the Rapper's Coloring Book won Best Rap Album in 2017 as a streaming exclusive release, opening the floodgates for digital-only releases to compete at the Grammys. This changed how the music industry viewed streaming platforms and proved physical releases weren't necessary for critical acclaim. The Grammy rule changes that followed allowed countless independent artists to compete on equal footing with major label releases, fundamentally altering the industry landscape. Most viewed music video in 24 hours, Butter by BTS racked up 108.2 million views in its first 24 hours on YouTube in May 2021, setting the all-time record for biggest video debut. The K-pop phenomenon crushed the previous record of 101.1 million held by Dynamite, also by BTS. The group holds multiple spots in the top 10 for 24-hour debuts, showing their global fanbase's coordination and dedication. Butter hit 10 million views in its first 13 minutes, a pace that sustained throughout the day. This record showcases K-pop's dominance in the YouTube ecosystem. Most consecutive #1 albums. Taylor Swift achieved 12 consecutive #1 albums on the Billboard 200, from Fearless in 2008 through the Tortured Poets Department in 2024. Every single studio album, re-recording, and major release has debuted at the top spot. This streak includes her genre switch from country to pop, proving her fanbase followed her across musical styles. The consistency is unmatched. She's never had an album debut lower than #1 in over 16 years. Most weeks at #1 with a single song. Old Town Road by Lil Nas X spent 19 consecutive weeks at #1, breaking the all-time record for longest-running #1 hit. The country rap hybrid destroyed Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's One Sweet Day, which had held the record at 16 weeks since 1995. The song's TikTok origins and genre-bending appeal created a phenomenon that dominated charts for nearly 5 months. The 19-week reign represents the longest single-song dominance in the streaming era. Most Diamond-certified singles. Rihanna holds the record with 7 Diamond-certified singles, each representing 10+ million units sold in the US. Her Diamond collection includes Umbrella, We Found Love, Needed Me, Work, Love the Way You Lie, The Monster, and Stay. That's 70 million units from just 7 songs. The certification process is strict. It combines sales and streaming equivalents, making Diamond status extremely rare. Bruno Mars follows with 6 Diamond singles, but Rihanna's collection represents unmatched commercial consistency. Most simultaneous Hot 100 entries. Drake holds the record with 27 songs charting simultaneously in July 2018 after releasing Scorpion. However, Taylor Swift obliterated this with 40 songs charting simultaneously after releasing Midnights in October 2022. She destroyed her own previous record of 26 from Red, Taylor's version. The streaming power was unprecedented. Fans consumed the entire album instantly, pushing deep cuts onto the charts alongside obvious singles. This achievement showed how modern superstars with devoted fan bases can completely flood the charts. Best-selling album of all time. Michael Jackson's Thriller remains the best-selling album ever with estimated sales between 70 to 100 million copies worldwide since 1982. The album spent 37 weeks at #1 and produced 7 top 10 singles, including Billie Jean, Beat It, and Wanna Be Startin' Something. Its music videos revolutionized MTV and pop culture permanently. Thriller helped break down racial barriers in music and establish the template for global pop stardom. 4 decades later, no album has matched its combination of sales, cultural impact, and artistic achievement. Most #1 hits. The Beatles hold the record with 20 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, more than any act in history. They dominated from 1964 to 1970 with classics like I Wanna Hold Your Hand, Help, Yesterday, and Hey Jude. Their 1964 alone saw them hold #1 for 26 out of 54 weeks, a level of chart domination never matched before or since. Mariah Carey follows with 19 #1s, but that single song gap has held for over 50 years. First billionaire musician. Paul McCartney became the first musician to achieve billionaire status through a combination of Beatles royalties, Wings success, solo career earnings, and smart publishing investments. His wealth comes primarily from music, unlike other billionaire musicians who built business empires. The Beatles' catalog ownership and decades of touring revenue built his fortune steadily over 60 years. This achievement showed how sustained musical success across multiple decades could build generational wealth. Most weeks in Billboard 200 Top 10. Taylor Swift has accumulated over 400 weeks in the Billboard 200's Top 10, more than any artist in the chart's history. She surpassed the Beatles' previous record through sheer consistency. Every album from Fearless to the Tortured Poets Department has spent massive time in the upper reaches. Her re-recorded albums gave her second chances at chart dominance with the same songs. 15 years of consistent top 10 albums built this unbreakable record. Longest span between #1 hits. Cher holds the record with over 33 years between her first #1, Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves in 1971, and her last, Believe in 1999. This span covers multiple decades and completely different eras of popular music. She went from folk pop in the 70s to dance pop in the late 90s, proving her ability to reinvent and stay relevant across generational changes. Her believed comeback at age 52 was unprecedented for female pop stars. Most countries reached number 1 simultaneously. Despacito by Luis Fonsi hit number 1 in 47 countries simultaneously in 2017, more than any song in history. The global dominance was unprecedented. It topped charts across North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Australia at the same time. The song's Spanish lyrics didn't prevent worldwide success, proving pop music's universal appeal could transcend language barriers. The 47-country achievement represents the new reality of global pop success in the digital age. First artist to debut at number 1 with first 10 albums, Kanye West achieved something remarkable, debuting at number 1 with his first 10 consecutive solo albums, from The College Dropout through Donda. This consistency spans over 15 years and multiple changes in the music industry. His ability to maintain commercial appeal while constantly evolving his sound created unprecedented anticipation for each release. The streak proved sustained commercial dominance across multiple industry shifts. Fastest song to reach 1 billion streams. As It Was by Harry Styles reached 1 billion Spotify streams in just 112 days in 2022, the fastest in platform history. The song's immediate global appeal and radio dominance created streaming velocity never seen before. It debuted at number 1 in 32 countries and maintained massive streaming numbers for months. The track's nostalgic sound and Styles' crossover appeal from One Direction to solo stardom drove the streaming explosion. Most sold-out stadium shows in a single tour. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour includes over 150 shows across multiple legs, with every stadium show selling out completely. Each venue holds 50,000 plus capacity and sold out within minutes of tickets going on sale. The demand was so intense, it crashed Ticketmaster's entire system and led to congressional hearings about ticket sales practices. This achievement represents cultural phenomenon status that can fill the world's largest venues consistently. Most cumulative weeks at number 1. Mariah Carey accumulated 93 weeks at number 1, more than any solo artist in Billboard history. Her hits like Vision of Love, We Belong Together, and All I Want for Christmas Is You each spent multiple weeks at the top. From 1990 to 2019, Carey consistently returned to number 1 across different phases of her career and changing musical landscapes. Her total represents sustained commercial dominance across nearly 3 decades. These records didn't just make history, they rewrote it. Which one blows your mind the most? Drop your favorite in the comments, hit subscribe for more pop deep dives, and let's keep celebrating the icons who broke every rule in music.